Everybody, welcome back. Chris from Tennessee. First impression today of Samuel Gawith Kendal Cream Flake, also known as KC Flake. This just came in, and this is another one that I've actually really been looking forward to trying more recently, since I discovered that I'd like Ennerdale mixture or Ennerdale Flake by Gawith and Hogarth. And Ennerdale is one of their more heavily Lakeland topped blends, and I enjoyed that. So this one is described as a mellow Virginia Burley blend with a cream essence added, as well as the Lakeland floral essence. And then tobaccoreviews.com says that there's some other or miscellaneous essences added, but I don't see that on all the other websites that sell it about other essences besides the Lakeland and cream. And the tin description is accurate in my opinion. This is definitely a very mellow, fairly light, creamy blend. I love this. This is a good blend for my taste. And I'm very pleased to find that it is actually sweet, but mildly sweet. There is a mild sweetness all throughout, but it's quite mild. But I don't have to look for it. It's just always there, which again is one of those boxes that I like having ticked. Now I did try this for the first time last night, but I packed kind of a small flake, and I didn't get to enjoy it for too long. I probably smoked it for like 20 minutes, and I couldn't get enough of it. So I was really looking forward to trying it again this morning, and I packed it in one of my briars. I was using one of my hardwood pipes with the shank that comes through, and it was annoying because I couldn't smoke all the rest of the tobacco in there. It kind of got trapped and messed up. So a couple things I've noticed with my tin, it must be aged because all my flakes have that wonderful crystallization all over them, and my flakes were fairly dry actually, not on the average, not right in the middle. They were pretty dry. They weren't crispy or anything. Like I could still fold them up, and, they'd break apart a little bit. So I actually left my flake. I found that it was kind of burning hot last night, because I had to relight it so many times. Anyway, so I left the flake out this morning and I let it dry out. It was actually pretty crispy after only drying out for like an hour. So anyway, but I noticed that the Samuel Gawith and Hogarth tins are not really sealed. You can open them with your hands. You don't have to pry them. They just have a little bit of cellophane wrapper around the opening. So yeah, those Gawith tins are not really sealed. So, in any case, mine appears to be aged. So this tastes wonderful. It fits the description well. It's light and creamy. And mildly sweet all throughout. It has the wonderful quality of Samuel Gawith Virginias. So it's a slightly lighter, softer version of full Virginia Flake. I have not tried Best Brown Flake or Bright CR Flake, which I know are the other favorites for a lot of people. But I am sure this is a comparable Virginia to those. As far as the Burleys, yeah, they're definitely there. They give it some body, but they're very mellow. They're very mellow, so they do impart a nice nut essence, a nice nut flavor on the tongue, and it's mild. And what I do like is that the Lakeland essence is applied with a much lighter hand in this one. So it's a very mild Lakeland, unlike Ennerdale. That's got a heavy Lakeland added to it. I almost like this more in that. I do like this more in that regard. But it's nice. I almost wish that Ennerdale had less Lakeland and had this cream essence added to it. Then I think Ennerdale would be like perfect for me. But this is good. This is nice and light and creamy. I feel like I'm smoking a softer, creamier less spicy, slightly less tea-like version of full Virginia Flake. But this is a winner. Yeah, I think with this blend you have to pace it a little bit. It will get hot on you, in my opinion, from the 2 bowls that I've had. But man, it's really good. And I had a cup of tea this morning, and it just with some honey and cream in it, it just complements this so well. I can picture this going just fine with coffee as well, black coffee or coffee with cream. A little bit of spice on the retrohale there. Reminds me so much of full Virginia Flake in a lot of ways. But this is an absolutely delicious blend. From just 2 bowls alone, I could safely say that this is probably making my top 5 tobaccos list. I really like this one. This is good. I can tell that I'm going to be going back and forth between this Kendal cream and the Gawith and Hogarth Ennerdale flake until I figure out which one I like more. But I really like cream. I really like a smoke to be creamy. One of my favorite aspects that tobacco can deliver. So creaminess and sweetness are on my ideal traits for any blend, if I can find that. Oh, and I should say, I packed a whole flake in here. Those are big flakes. And I really jammed it in hard. And it still had good airflow. And so I do recommend that with this blend is packing it pretty tight, as long as the airflow is good. I packed it right to the brim. It was almost over the brim a bit, because I just didn't want to lose any of that flake. I just wanted it all in here. And it seems to do really well with a tight pack. I rolled the flake up, stuffed it down, then broke the rest of it apart and just really packed it in. Last night and today, no problems keeping it lit though. It's had a nice even burn. Of course, I dried this one out quite a bit. And I can't tell that it's lost any of the flavor or essence between me smoking it more moist last night and then smoking it completely dry this morning. So yeah, lightly sweet, creamy, tiny bit of spice on the retrohale, little nutty. What else can I say? Yeah, I can't really tell on the smell much. It honestly smells, from what I'm catching with whiffing this, it's a similar smell to full Virginia Flake. Yeah, just wonderful. Wow. Very, if I get some of these big, if I really ramp up my cadence, it's very similar to full Virginia Flake. Just a lot creamier. Yeah, and I think that sweetness is really coming in from the Virginias, from what I can tell. There is a little bit of that same tea-like nature of full Virginia Flake in there. Just a little bit tamed back a bit. But yeah, this one is a winner. Like for me personally, I'd rather buy an 8-ounce box of this than full Virginia Flake, just because there's so many great straight Virginias on the market that, I want something that's a little bit more distinguished. Even though full Virginia Flake kind of stands on its own in a lot of ways, it's nice to have something that has this little essence, this is something else. I will say, for those of you non-aromatic smokers, this is totally a non-aromatic to me. I mean, this tastes completely natural. There's no strong, it doesn't taste like somebody dumped Irish cream all over it or some kind of heavy topping. Like all the Gawith blends, it's very natural, very light essences that are added, maybe in the form of just like a casing rather than a topping, which I suspect is how all the Gawith blends add flavors, is through light casings. Let's see what else I can taste here. Yeah, there's a bit of that breadiness. Again, it's very similar to full Virginia Flake. There's a little bit of that natural anise, sort of almost not cinnamon, but it's kind of edging towards that anise cinnamon like flavor that comes out from the Virginias. Yeah, the burleys are pretty subdued. Like, they're just I can't tell how much burley is in there, but it doesn't seem like a lot of burley. Just enough to impart that nuttiness. And it's definitely a one-note type of tobacco. It's not really nuanced at all. which does lend itself to me to being more of an everyday smoke. It's light, it's straightforward, it's just creamy and smooth. Oh, it's so good. It's so good, I want to just keep puffing on it. Very nice. I mentioned in one of my other videos that I just am absolutely loving Savinelli Brunello Flake. But this and that one could become my everyday go-to. This is nice because it's just slightly lighter than that, at least for those of you that have been watching my first impressions and things. But for me, this is just very satisfying for an everyday smoke. I mean, I was out here last night in the cold, and it was just so nice, so pleasant after a day of working in my garden and things. And it was a nice evening smoke, and it's just great here in the morning too. Like I said, it'll go well with coffee or tea. Yeah, I mean, and if you get have your cadence going, and you can kind of keep it moderately warm and really get nice thick plumes of smoke in your mouth, the flavor is just more intense. You just get more flavor. This hasn't really evolved much through the bowl. I think the flavor is building a bit, though. I can say that much as you smoke it down. Very good. Very good. I wish I could say more about the flavors, but I think you get the picture. It's wonderful Virginia Flake for the most part. The burley just adds a little bit of that nuttiness. Nothing else really. Probably a little bit more body, but primarily you're getting a smoke that tastes very similar to full Virginia Flake, slightly lighter, maybe a little bit smoother, a little bit less vibrant and spicy, but creamier, sweeter. Wonderful natural tasting tobacco. Can't recommend this one enough. This is really good. I'm looking forward to smoking through this tin a lot. So, all right, take care. God bless. Hope this helps you guys. Take care.